Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. The North American and the European elite qualifiers were going down last night. Doug Censor Martin was certainly getting involved, ended up losing to the team that dropped him just a few weeks ago, and then going on to describe exactly why he deserves a spot back in the CDL. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoy the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. Top of the channel, reach new people, and hit the subscribe button as well, if you have not yet already. Thanks very much for doing that one. Firstly, there's some kind of, Ralph kind of leaker for stuff to do with the next title, Modern Warfare 2. There are rumours coming out right now that Treyarch are going to get involved with developing this title. All hands on deck is kind of what he's been told, which isn't exactly what we want to hear, to be honest, because this new game's coming out. They, of course, want it to be more of a success than Vanguard has been so far, but, of course, kind of from the competitive perspective, we're hoping that this game can honestly be decent. And to be fair, if Treyarch do work on Modern Warfare 2, maybe there's going to be some, beneficial things that come as a result of that. At the same time, though, I think a lot of people are saying, okay, let's just suffer through Vanguard, suffer through Modern Warfare 2, and then hopefully Trek can deliver another good competitive title the year after that. But if they're kind of, hung up really working on Modern Warfare 2, then, maybe it's not going to be ideal. Who knows? Could be a positive, could be a negative, but some people are kind of frustrated about the fact that it seems like they're bringing every developer in to help on this game. So hopefully it's going to be good, but I'm sure the things they are working on might not be with competitive in mind, as we have, tended to find out these last several years in Call of Duty. This also from Renegade from Cloud9. Remember to keep pushing forward, never give up on yourself, as he says. Of course, this is the team that's been dominating the early part of Halo Infinite, and Formal has, obviously had a difficult time up against them recently. He was on the Sentinels roster in the most recent, NA Pro Series or whatever it's called. They lost to them in the finals, and then Formal, of course, is looking for a new roster. Is he potentially going to get on OpTic Halo if they decide to make a move at some point? That seems unlikely in the short term, but still, who knows what happens after Anaheim. A big event is coming up in February, I believe. Not sure there's going to be fans in attendance, unfortunately, as we saw a couple of weeks ago, but as he says, wise words from my future team. It is really funny from Formal, because he's pretty much now been a part of every major organisation, including OpTic. Even when he was on OpTic over these last several months, he's now kind of OpTic and Envy at the same time. He was on Sentinels, he was even on FaZe briefly, right, when he was on their Halo side, so I guess he's looking to speedrun all the organisations on this front, and look, I don't imagine Cloud9 Halo are going to make any changes anytime soon, but still, if it does happen, Formal is certainly someone on the horizon, and this is kind of the classic game that Formal used to play back in the, the Ghost days, really, when he was team hopping. He came into Call of Duty from Halo, looked really good at a first couple of events, Gfinity 3, I'm pretty sure he won with Envy, and then, he team hopped all around the place, found himself on OpTic at the start of the next year, so did a very good job on that front, looking to do a similar thing, seemingly, on the Halo side. This, then, from Cronus, he points out, yesterday, Challengers Season 1 Elite Qualifiers are going on, of course, yesterday, and 8 teams from each region were going to qualify for the Stage 1 of the Elite. Interesting question, really, here as to whether more teams should be there, because, I think in Europe, a lot of people would say the talent is quite kind of concentrated at the top, as in the 2 best European teams in Challengers are very good indeed. I think, Marky B and the kind of Cammy were saying that on the flank a couple of days ago, that, in Europe, the 2 teams they played were really giving them a good run for their money, the kind of Spanish guys in Vortex's team, but outside of that, there's not, the teams haven't really put together a roster just that can actually compete and win some of these tournaments. Whereas in North America, it's a little bit different. I think the team changes in North America seem to happen way more regularly, and there's just always chaos going on in Challengers, but also there's probably slightly more depth of talent in that region than there is in Europe right now, which maybe you could argue that 12 to 16 teams might make more sense for the Elite in North America rather than just 8, but only 8 qualify out of this one, and of course, as we'll see here in a second, these teams are pretty stacked indeed. So as Doug Censor Martin says, he was having a good time in some of these clips, the breakdown as he brings in on this Tuscan hardpoint, getting a nice little 3-piece to close out the game, and having a generally good time, but things didn't really work out for this team down the line here, because they end up playing against his former squad of Bracken Co. that dropped him a little bit ago. We talked about the frustrations he had when he was getting dropped, and maybe the reasons for it, and why those guys wanted to drop him, right, just because they didn't seem to be convinced he was, that great of a teammate, right? But in fairness, a lovely little 3-piece here when he gets up and flexes on the camera. Imagine you're on main stage, Doug just, pops a 3-piece against you and start flexing across the main stage with no shirt on. You're just going to have to call it a day at that point. This also, I'm pretty sure B-Sport Josh put on the timeline in, okay, so it was Spartan Co. in the grand finals, or maybe not the grand finals, but, it was a 5-2 up in a game 5 is what I really meant to say. And then you've got Uli on the other side on Trash Bros. He's 15-4 on a 6 streak. The rest of his team has 4 kills combined, and he's 5-2 down. What is going on here? You can't make some of this stuff up you see in the Challenger scene. It's just pretty absurd. But anyway, I imagine Path to Pro went on to win this one, because I'm pretty sure they ended up qualifying. And as Paulek says, Doug is the best player I've ever spectated. It is kind of funny. People were talking about how, he just does the same thing every round. He's always just hitting the same bomb site, getting the bomb down. And in fairness, I guess he was getting the job done for his team at the time. But it didn't work out in the end. As he says right here, lost in the qualifying round to the team that dropped me. GG's to them, on to the next. So Doug falls short. disappointing for him for sure. And well, I'll share this clip for you guys real quick, or a couple of clips really, of Doug, well, kind of getting spun a little bit, and then talking about why he believes he deserves a spot in the league. All these guys, Pred, Sib, like all these talented players coming along, he thinks he's in the same category there. He knows about winning more than these guys. Winning is something you can't teach. Get this man in the league. That's what he reckons at least.
Fun, let's go.
I stun left over you, Steve.
Right here, he's dead.
Nice, good job, Brandon.
They're got it.
Give me a second, I got him. He's absolute, bro. Next time, just give me a second. I got your trade, bro.
I'm trying to slide on the hill.
What's anything on point?
I have you.
Yeah, Tom's out, Erte.
I have you.
There's Cole got close too. I couldn't hit him, bro. They're all there.
He's out her now. He's out her.
Bro, we didn't have their side right there, or what?
He did. I got naded.
We did. That's 1P5. That's 1P5.
Like, I should have get a kill there, but still, it's like...
There's so much talent. Pretty Boy Pred and Dante Sib. Pentagram getting signed as a sub. Yeah, bro. Pretty Boy Pred is talented. Dante was the most talented player in Challengers. Nate, without a doubt, deserves a sub spot on 100T. Motherfucker, but there's me as well. I'm out here too, bro. Hey, I belong with these motherfuckers, bro. Put me against any of these players, bro. Pushing Pred, Mack Attack, Lamar aBeZy fundamentals, Dante Sib, one of the most talented players in COD, Atlanta FaZe, Toronto Ultra, Challenger players, BBG, Sparks team. Like, I don't give a damn, bro. Listen, man. Put me in these situations, winning plays happen. I make the winning plays.
It's the reason why I'm 4-0 in grand finals. It's a constant thing that keeps on happening over and over and over. It's no different in COD today, man. Oh, Censor, the talent's so much better. Suck my dude. F all the talent, bro. You can't teach winning. Period. I find it laughable. Ronan.
That became my reputation for like 2 years. And then we got actual players that are proven to be champions like Mack doing it in matches and Formal doing it in matches. But if I do it in a online 8s, I'm bitter. It's like, I beat Formal for one of my chips. He just had to beat me once in jetpacks. He just had to beat me in 1 best of 5. He only won 3 maps. Out of 10 maps, he won 3. 9 maps. He played 9 maps against me on LAN on jetpacks. He only won 3 maps against me. And the maps he won were by 5 in hardpoint, by 1 on uplink, and 1 on capture the flag. He barely beat me on the maps he won. I beat him in 6 maps. Crim, Scump, same thing. But people act like I'm some bro. Listen, man.
So Censor goes on to say, I went from starting the year being salaried to my organisation, I'm pretty sure he was on the Pioneers, and then to my organisation dropping us, to being dropped after placing top 8, to playing with 7 teams in 7 days, to playing a hacker, to playing ATS, to playing One Way Smokes, playing 2 maps and qualifying for the Elite, only 2 maps away, I'm pretty sure, I guess they were, in the kind of qualification series. I guess they lost 3-1. Online challenges, Coddy says, and yeah, difficult time as Hamza says, bring back LAN, I'd literally drop a 1.5 real KD in this challenger split on LAN, might even be the first player to have a 2.0. So Doug reckons, yes, getting back to LAN. This is kind of the frustrating thing for a lot of these guys, that all the challenger stuff nowadays, the amateur stuff, is just done online. And it means that people like, you know, trying to abuse hosts and all these types of issues. Even, you know, it was only a couple of years ago we used to have challenger LANs all the time, like the Challengers Champs, for example, back in Black Ops 4 was in Miami, pretty sure. And then, of course, at the start of Modern Warfare, there was the Minnesota Open weekends that also had a Challengers event going on at the same time. So, yeah, difficult really to see that the fact that these last couple of years, it's all been online. Doug reckons it would be a different story, of course, if he was in a LAN environment. This is also from General. These guys qualify, unfortunately, the Madrid team. Apparently, like the first and second seed play each other or something. That is, of course, a difficult scene. But this is what happened in the North America side. General and Co qualify. The Spark team we just looked at. Shawnee's team as well. Classic Assault and Exceed. These were kind of, well, some guys that were somewhat tipped, frankly, to maybe get picked up as the 12th spot in the league right when the new organisation came through. People were thinking, okay, do you pick up Methods and Co, or do you get, of course, these guys, right? But in the end, they decided to get Methods and TJ and build a squad around them, which so far in this game has been looking pretty good indeed, and a pretty good decision, all things considered. And then Brack, Proto, Ghosto, and Zinx, that's the team that ended up dropping Censor, of course, and they just get the better of him to qualify here. So unfortunate for Doug Censor Martin. These are the guys that failed to qualify. It's actually, I think this is the Madrid team, actually, Panda, GodRx, Pentagram, and Vickle. Of course, a great roster, but they fell short, actually, here. I'm pretty sure maybe because of the first versus second seed thing. Not sure how that went down, but yeah, difficult stuff regardless. Censor's playing with Teskey, Tay, and Littlefoot right now. Haven't really heard too much about these guys. I think think I've heard of these two guys actually. Littlefoot seems to be new to the scene, but Doug's in there anyway. Diamond Conoco don't qualify. Of course, this team with Yuli, right, and he dropped 15-4 for the L. Tough scenes over there. This in the European side, Lucky and Co, of course, qualified. No problem at all for that team, and these are the other teams that qualify at the end of the day. This is Vortex and Co that I'm pretty sure well, those guys are playing a fair bit up against, right, and Harry's still in that scene right now, even though I'm pretty sure he's now been signed officially as London Royal Ravens substitute for the season, so he might be getting out to the States at some point. I guess they're going to try and make that happen by the season starts, so if anything goes wrong, they can certainly make some substitutions and some additions. Speaking of the Royal Ravens, this was their roster, of course, at the kickoff. The Lion Man cards that he comes out with that are always beautiful, and well, as you can see right here, pretty phenomenal performance really, especially from Afro. I mean, look, we only saw one series. It was Nasty and Afro that kind of showed up most. Zero had a difficult time most certainly, but still, like, stats don't really mean everything in one single series, but it just kind of did go to show once again that Afro, especially in kind of the hard point that they played, was once again looking pretty good. I think there's been a lot of talk from guys like, I think even Temp said when I interviewed him quite recently before the kickoff, that Afro seems to always have his number right. When he's playing Afro on the London guys, like, they seem to be really good. There's definitely still some potential with this roster, despite it, well, falling short at the most recent kickoff classic, that in fairness, they lost to Seattle Surge 3-0, right? Difficult time for them. Like, well, it's not easy playing Seattle with how good they seem to be at the present time. And just to finish off with this from Standy, with a nice little clip playing up against Los Angeles Guerrillas in scrims, who are still, as we talked about yesterday, right, the question as to which team might make the first roster change. Like, there's certainly part of me right now that thinks Los Angeles Guerrillas could be a good candidate, because if they don't really do well at the start of the year, if the team chemistry falls apart, that has been the concern really with that team, is that if they don't get results, things could completely collapse for that roster. Certainly a lot of those players have been involved in many roster changes over these last couple of years. That it does make me think Los Angeles Guerrillas is a possibility. At the same time, the Minnesota Rokkr could also be in a similar boat, because they didn't make a change after last year, and I guess like they know what championship success tastes like. They know they have the potential on this roster to win championships, but I think to a lot of people it kind of feels like Minnesota might not be in the same position this year, with pretty much every other team upgrading outside of them, at least on paper. But well, with the Los Angeles Guerrillas upgrade actually turns out to be an upgrade, I guess it would be difficult not to be an upgrade, frankly, given last year. But again, pretty disgusting play here actually from Standy to secure the zone and win the defense. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells the YouTube god this is a good video, and as like you should see it as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always, take care, and I will see you next time.